What up everyone, I'm Gushi. It is one more day until Legends releases, and in this video, I'm going to be going over a couple of things that I hope Legends gets right compared to all the other looters that have come out. To date, I've played looters like Destiny, Borderlands, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and a couple of betas like the Marvel Avengers and The Division. I'm super excited that Ghost of Tsushima is transitioning to this kind of game model, mostly because it opens up this single player game for more regular updates and more content. What we've played so far is already super good, and any content that Sucker Punch releases, regardless if it's moving to a looter genre with a co-op mode, I believe will be on par with what we already have in single player. So in this video, we're going to be going over the main aspects that I really liked in other looter games, which I really like to see replicated in Legends, and the things that I didn't like, which I hope Legends doesn't make the same mistakes. So with that, let's get into it. So just like all the looters that have come out, with different rarity gears that you can get, with higher rarity or higher level gear, always comes unique perks and abilities, very similar to the perks that we get in the charms that we have currently in single player. So the first thing that I hope that Legends does correctly are the perks. Gear specific perks can really break or make a game. I want to start off by saying that Ghost of Tsushima already does this pretty well. From its single player, all the major charms as well as some of the minor charms provide different utility to drastically change your playstyle. Instead of just modifying a certain stat like damage, range, or duration, most of the better perks give an additional ability while performing a certain action. One of the major downfalls of Marvel's Avengers, even with all the reputable superheroes, failed to make loot drops unique and special to the character that you're playing. Regardless of what rarity loot that you get, even if it's legendary, the perks attached to it still came from the same loot pool, but maybe with like a higher damage number. So for this example, the main thing that I'd like to see, or actually continue, is having unique perks on the different rarity gears that we're gonna get. Alright, so on to the second thing I'd like to see, and this is having more than one unique perk equipable at once. Again, this is something that Ghost of Tsushima does pretty well with its interchangeable charms that you can equip. This is one of the major downsides of Destiny, where you can only equip one exotic armor piece and one exotic weapon. Also with Odyssey, although you could equip multiple legendary items, the unique perk on the gear isn't available until you equip all the matching sets for each gear slot, which again only unlocks one unique perk. So in Legends, as we get different rarity weapons like the stone katana or weapons coming back like the half bow, I really hope that the weapons feel unique with perks you can mix and match, which is really one of the greatest things we've got from the single player mode that we have so far. So on to the third thing that I wish that Legends does correctly, and again it's related to perks, and this is that I hope that perks don't rely on RNG that much. This is something that the Borderlands franchise really relies on. There's a story mode with repeatable bosses and dedicated drops that provide legendary weapons with unique perks. However, there's one thing that really keeps players playing the game, and that is the anointments that you can get on these legendary weapons that give extra bonuses and extra perks. And it's these anointments that are RNG. Finding that god roll with a specific anointment on a specific gun is really hard to get, and quite annoying to find, honestly. Similarly, Assassin's Creed Odyssey also has RNG perks, and all this just takes away from creating the build that you want to play. Most of the time you just end up settling with a couple of perks that you're okay with, not fully being able to min-max a certain build, all because of RNG. So I understand that this is a way to prolong a game, but I think this is the wrong way to do it, and I really hope that this doesn't show up in Legends. Alright, so the fourth thing that I'd like to see is diversity in content. There's nothing worse in a looter than playing the same boring mission over and over just to get a certain drop. So the thing that I'd like to see are multiple ways to get a certain drop, or at least a dedicated loot pool for certain bosses or certain story missions. Maybe the final boss on the final wave of survival gives these legendary gears with these unique perks. And to change it up, you can also get the same gear in story mode as well. Similar to Destiny, you can get exotic weapons either by playing PvP or doing PvE like strikes, nightfalls, or raids. Having multiple ways to get higher level gear usually makes the grind for higher level gear a lot more fun and enjoyable. Next is the fifth thing that I'd like to see, and this is the level gating. One of my main gripes with Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that you have access to all these missions, but since it's a higher level, you just get wrecked by all the enemies. Enemies end up one-shotting you, or if you're good at dodging attacks, enemies are literally bullet sponges, taking like 10 minutes just to take down. So the one thing I'd really like to see is really good balance on finding content that matches your current power level so difficulty moves at a steady pace. I know this is going to be a little bit hard since it's co-op. As you group up with more people, the more likely your team's going to have different power levels, which is really hard to scale to where it's fun for all teammates. So I'm really hoping matchmaking, if there is any, creates balanced AI for multiple people in your team so that it's fun for everyone. And finally, the last thing that I'd really like to see within this Legends update is the separation from cosmetics and stats and perks that you can get. One thing that I really liked in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that no matter what gear that you got, you can always change the looks of it. I really am a sucker for customization, and I'd really do anything to find that look that I really like within a game. All the way to the point where I'd use lesser or inferior gear just because it looks better. In Ghost of Tsushima's single player, you're really locked to whatever armor set that you chose. Yes, you could change the different appearance of the 3 armor upgrades and the different dyes, but you can't take the looks from one armor set and the perks from another. From the trailers that we've seen so far, it does seem that you could change the looks independently from the weapons and the charms that you can use, and I'm super excited about this. However, the blog post did mention that the assassin had really cool customizable items. This kind of makes me believe that some customizable items are specific to the class that you choose, which I want them all. I want to be able to use any class and customize it to my heart's content. This may be wishful thinking, but hey, this is a Legends wish list, so I'm adding it. But with that, that's everything that I hope that Legends does right. If there's something that I haven't mentioned that you guys would like within Legends, let me know in the comment section down below. One more day, people. That's all we have to wait. Thanks for watching. Hope to catch you in the next one, and GG.